Hey, Good Vibe Squad. Thank you for coming back to watch another video. And if you're not part of the Good Vibe Squad yet, please be sure to change that by clicking the subscribe button. And today I'm going to show you guys how I made this beautiful buttercream mixture right here that you can apply not only to your hair but to your body. Okay, let's get into this video. So I have this big bag of herbal hair mix that you can use to make some oils. I wanted to do the hot double boiler method, and my pan wasn't going to be big enough to take all of these herbs and still contain the oils, so I decided to just kind of split it out and just pick a few of the essential oils, a few of the essential herbs from the pack and just make my oil that way. This is also how I'm going to make my DIY hair growth oil that I will be giving away for the 300 subscriber. So I just put some of my essential oils, or some of the oils that I think will be very key ingredient in helping my hair. So I have jojoba oil, I put some castor oil, I have some sunflower and avocado oil, and my main carrier oil, the one that I had the most of, is extra virgin olive oil, and I have a cup of coconut oil. So it's just a lot of good oils that's going into this mixture, and I'm just going to boil it over the stove for a couple minutes just to infuse it and really get it to mix well together. As far as the oils, you really don't have to use that many oil. It's just because the fact, like I said, this is I want this to be a very potent hair butter mixture. So that's why I am going on with a lot of these different oils. And then I did use about a tablespoon of Ayurvedic powders, but I still tried to add other oils. Like I had neem oil right here. I added amla oil. So I kind of substituted oils for the powders. So yeah, but this is how I made this batch. Of course, not at least for me personally speaking, not all my batches are exactly the same exact things, because I use different oils, I use different herbs and stuff like that. But for the most part, it's really just the same. When I say they're not all the same, I mean, like, I may not have used fenugreek in this one, I may have used clove in this one. I just switch it up a little bit, so we might not have the same exact ingredients, but the goal is that it has the key ingredients for whatever the problem area is. Okay, so that's when I finish adding the oils, I go ahead and add my powdered ingredients, which were in this case chebe, cactus powder, my Ayurvedic mixture, and fenugreek. So when I finish adding those, I just let it stir the oil, and then just keep letting it boil to mixture. I also put some clove powder in there as well. And this way that this came out is really nice. I had some DIY oil, some growth oil left over that I can use for other hot oil treatments and just etc. And then I was able to, originally I was going to use a cup of Ayurvedic oil for the butter mixture, but I decided that I wanted to be a little bit more on the cream side. I didn't want it to be as buttery, because I like applying the oil like directly as is on my scalp. So I wanted the shea butter mixture to be more on the thick cream side versus a more oily based type of mixture. But that's pretty much it for right now. I'm gonna just let the video run through for a little bit. Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button if you have not done so already. Hit the bell notification right next to it, so be notified every time that we upload. And go ahead and drop me a comment down below if you feel so inclined. That would really help out the channel, because the likes and comments helps us. You guys know it helps a long way with the algorithm. So help your girl out, and let's get this family growing. Okay, and this right here is just me mixing my butters and gonna be melting it down soon. So I did such a large amount because this is not just for me. There were some coworkers who actually expressed some interest because they seen the good results for me and my son's hair. So they were asking me, what I've been doing to my hair, yada yada yada. Long story short, they wanted to try some of this the mixture. They wanted to use some of the products I've been using, and that's what I'm doing here. I'm making enough to, usually I wouldn't be using this much butters if it was just for me and my son, but because it's for it's for extra, I'm making it for other people. That's why I'm using so much. And I basically use a cup of 2 cups of shea butter, a cup of cocoa butter, a cup of avocado butter, a cup of mango butter. And I use 2 cups of shea butter because shea butter is the cheapest out of all of these butters. And I can get, all of the butters are accessible, but shea butter is the cheapest. So I put 2 cups to kind of help with the quantity. Because like I said, I am making this for a big batch for, multiple people. So, and then I did also beforehand make sure with the people that I am making the recipe for that they weren't allergic to any of the oils that I will be using. Because I know a big one is coconut, peppermint, etc. But it's always safe to let them know, what the ingredients are, just to be on the safe side. Use a double boiler method to go ahead and melt it down. And I did have to change the water like 3 times because, like I said, it was so much butter to melt. So be mindful of that. You might have to change out your water a couple of times, or whatever the case may be, if you're doing a really big batch. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I just go ahead and sit it in the water. I will occasionally stir it just to kind of help the process along faster. But when you first change the water, like when the water is the hottest, like in the beginning, that's when you get your most melting action. So yeah. So this is what it looks like when it's completely melted. You basically want to see through the bowl to the bottom, and the liquid would be like a brownish color, like really clear brown. I don't know how to explain the color, but it will be this clear, as you can see it right now in the video. So once you get it to this point, you're good to go. You now can go ahead and add in your oils to get the process, to get to the next step. Okay, so like I said earlier, I was going to do 1 cup of oil to this mixture, but I just did not want my mixture to be too buttery, so I only ended up adding about half a cup of oil right now. I did add some more oil later on, but I added it after I've already did about 40 minutes to an hour of whipping. So it has already formed that little shade, it already formed a little bit. And that's when I went ahead and added more oil. And I also believe this makes it a little bit more creamy than buttery, oily feeling, if that makes sense. But yeah, so that's what I do here. I mix my oil with my butters, and then you have to put it in the fridge or for a freezer, or freeze it, depending on your how fast you want it to be done, like what your timetable is. I wasn't working in a hurry or anything, so I was just fine with leaving it in the fridge and just be checking on it after every few minutes. It did take a while for it to freeze over, but you don't want to leave it in the fridge so then it's too hard, and then you have to wait for it to thaw again in order to start whipping it. So just keep an eye on it when you put it in the fridge or freezer, just so it's solidifies, but it's not completely solidified. You still want to be able to, it's like matte, it's like mush. It's like mush. You want it to be kind of like mashed potato, still kind of solid, but still kind of not solid. Okay, so after I've been whipping, I whipped it for a little bit. This is the part where I go ahead and add my cactus gel for hair growth, and I mentioned in the cactus video, go ahead and go click that if you have not seen how I make this gel. But this is also one of the ways I help my hair grow. I add cactus gel to this mixture, and then I go ahead and whip it in, mix it in real good, and good to go.